Nobody talked to me about that. Nobody never talked to me about no trailer.
I told them the same thing. I said, listen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but they never talked to me about it. Nobody came to talk to me about it.
6 o'clock, we'll have the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Joseph Smith.
Everyone please stand and join with the Lord's Prayer, please. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 1, approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Mike,
Second.
second by Mr. Carl. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Item 2, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of January 14th, 2026.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Mike,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Anita. Any discussion? All
Yeah,
in
they
favor?
got discussion. I'm going back to the minutes. A question was asked and it was never answered, and I'm trying to see if we can go back and get that answer. The answer of the position that was at hand that we spoke about at the water department. Did we ever come up with a title for that position
There was no need.
or a description?
We voted on, there was a motion that was submitted and seconded, and we voted on that the person was just going to be transferred to go ahead and take care of problems that existed with the auditor.
That is correct. That is correct.
And that
The question is
that's all we had to do.
the question that I'm asking, is there a title to this, to where this person is working and a job description?
There was no title. It was a lateral transfer of an employee, of which I have the right to transfer a person.
Okay, all right, so what about the job description? What is the job description of this employee?
We discussed at this meeting the job description with Ms. Anita, and she's in finance. The job description was to take care of the over $200,000 of water deposits that we had that were there, that had to be either turned back to the person that had originally submitted the deposit, and then if that person couldn't be located, that it was going to be turned over to the state for unclaimed finances. So that's what that person was transferred to do, since the auditor had written us up in that regard.
Do we have a list of amount of how many people we're dealing with? That way we know. You stated that this was a temporary position until it's done. So do we have an amount of how many names is on this list? Or
We can provide you that, the amount and the names, because what was happening, the people that are working at the water department, when they were trying to do it, it's people driving in and people walking up to go ahead and pay their water bill, weren't able to do it in a timely manner. So that's why the auditor said that we needed to go ahead and even when Ms. Aloysia was our auditor, she had sent someone there to try to correct the problem, and it was just time consuming, so that's why she quit doing it. And then she wanted our personnel to do it, but our personnel that was there couldn't do it in a timely manner, and that's when we got written up by the legislative auditor and said that it had to be taken care of.
and this is from 2019, from when I was first started?
No, it was then, and they were trying, the personnel that we had there were trying to go ahead and follow up, but it's not easy to follow up when somebody moves from here to New Orleans, out of state, or whatever. So it's time consuming, and it's hard, sometimes it's hard to find, And then at that time, in 19, the people that they couldn't find, it was turned over to the state for unclaimed finances.
So from 19 to now, there is nothing done?
Yeah, there was some things that were done.
Can you provide the list of how many was done from 19 until then for the next meeting?
I could get the list from Miss Aloysia, the one she did.
Okay.
I mean,
John, I might add that Craig is progressing nicely.
Good.
He has achieved quite a bit since he's been there, and as we said, it's just a transition until we get this completed. And he agreed to help us because he's familiar with that. So hopefully it won't be that much.
Well, I mean, Mr. Nita, since you over the finances, you know, at $29 an hour coming out of the water department budget, is that budgeted for it?
We can't afford it.
We can afford it, but was it budgeted for it? So we're gonna have to amend the budget that way it can fit, correct?
Well, I don't know that, because this was all of a sudden that we had to make. the
Correct.
Miss
decision.
Christie, was it in the is it in the budget to have that position there?
No, it is not.
Okay, that's as far as I want to go.
And I will add this. Last month, I attempted to explain this coming from the auditor as well as from the state. And I was repeatedly interrupted and, in a sense, very disrespected. So I never got to finish stating what I wished to state. I just want to make that clear. I did attempt to do it.
Mr.
I
Leader, you
was not
said,
allowed to do it.
you said that he's made good progress in the last month. What does good progress look like?
Well, he's called me on multiple occasions to see if I knew people or if I knew heirs. And
I
I
think
know
I saw
when
in-
we first started, within a couple of days, he had achieved 4.
At
which
least
is quite a
15
bit,
checks that
'cause-
he turned over? At least 15 checks that he gave back to people.
Right. And it's very tedious because a lot of these people were elderly, died, passed away, and some of the siblings were deceased.
You say he gave back. He's giving them, or are they getting them
No,
from
they're
City Hall?
mailing them. They're
Oh, mailing them?
Right.
Yeah, they
Okay.
mail them.
Right, right. Because that money is there. It's not like it's costing anything to the water
Because-
department or to the city.
because we can't use that money for anything else. It has to be sent back to the people that have submitted deposits.
So what
And
is
if it's not, it's got to be sent to the state for unclaimed finances.
And that's always published in the newspapers. I'm sure most of you have
Correct.
seen that.
Correct. What is the process of his job, of how that works?
Well, he goes, he looks at the names that are there, then he tries to make contact by phone or by relatives. And, I mean, I could tell you, but I'd have to mention names, and I don't want to mention names.
No, I'm not, I just want to know
But,
the process. So he does so many a day, or he just go as he please and do whatever until he gets one done? When does he turn them over to City Hall? When are they required to pick up the check, or when is he required to turn in the paperwork?
Well, it all depends on how soon we can reach whoever is heir to those funds. Because in most instances, the people are deceased. And it's quite, and Jonathan, I'm sure you can vouch for that. We have to follow a chain of command. We can't
Correct.
just let that money go
Well, yeah.
until we know for a fact that money
I
goes
mean,
to
this is
that
not a
person.
joke. I mean, the auditors told us it has to be taken care of.
And we
And
understand
whether
that,
you
and
agree
we
with it or not, I mean,
we
it has to be
understand and
taken
respect
care of.
that, but there's a process of doing things, and that's
Well,
what I'm trying to
that's
get.
the
I'm trying to
process.
gather the process of how this goes.
Well, I can tell you, Torres, he looks at a name.
Okay.
And he starts from there, trying to trace down if that person is still alive. If that person is deceased, he tries to find out if there are siblings. He might check with the neighbors to see if they know if there are children. If those children are deceased, then he has to attempt to see if there are any grandchildren. If he's not making progress with that one, he will move on to the next one, and meanwhile try to find out who he was initially working on, hoping that someone will come forward.
Okay.
And Tori, if you need a better explanation, Christy informed me today that Mr. Burke of the CPA wishes to meet with me next week. And if you wish to join us, we'd love to have you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? And I can let you know when that appointment is set up.
Yes, ma'am. Ready for you.
All right, I've had a motion and a second. Any other discussion about approval of the minutes? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, Item 3, delegation, 5-minute limit. Anybody that wants to address the council and myself at this time can do so.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. First of all, I'd like to congratulate everyone who has qualified for the upcoming elections, or everyone who intends to qualify in the next couple of days. Public service is not easy, and stepping forward to run is something that should always be respected. That said, elections are governed by laws. They are not free-for-alls. They are structured processes designed to ensure fairness, integrity, and public trust. After hearing concerns within our community, I believe it is appropriate to publicly remind everyone that intimidation, coercion, or threats related to someone's vote are serious violations of election law, both state and federal. In the spirit of protecting free and fair elections, and as a private citizen, I am offering a $500 reward for lawfully obtained evidence, such as a signed affidavit or video or audio recording, submitted to the appropriate authorities at the Secretary of State's office regarding any candidate who engages in intimidation or threats against any individual based on their voting choice. Every person, police officers, city employees, and private citizens have the absolute right to vote freely and without fear of retaliation. And let me be clear, ballots are completely private. No one, not elected officials, not employers, and not supervisors, can see how someone voted. And I ask that my full statement tonight be submitted for the record. Thank you for your time.
You have your paper? Oh, he's gone. Yes, yes. Thank you, I appreciate it. Ms. Christie, he wanted to submit this, make sure that it's on record, if you can, please. Thank you.
John, I might want to add that those of us sitting at this table still have another 4 meetings, including this one, in which we will serve the citizens who voted and put us into office. And I would ask that we have complete civility in each meeting and have respect for one another.
Of course.
We have to agree to disagree, but we must respect one another. And I will ask that we do that.
Correct.
Anybody else, delegation, might want to address the council?
Hello, everyone. My name is Anisha Francisco. I am the CEO of Brotherly Love and Pretty Girls Inc. I'm coming forward today to get you guys approval for our 2nd annual Easter Extravaganza and our 2nd annual kickball tournament. We did host this event last year at the D.A. Jordan Center. It was a success. No problems. Everything was great. Thank you to Marksville Police Department that was present, and thanks to everyone that did donate to our event last year. This year we will be doing the same thing. We're looking to get it approved for April 4th, 2026 at the D.A. Jordan Center, and to use the 2 fields. We are looking to see if anybody is willing to donate. We do not ask for money donations, but we are asking if you guys would like to donate baskets, candy, anything that can go towards the Easter egg hunt to help fund it in any type of way.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Stewart.
I
Second by
second.
Mr. Carl. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
What is your name?
Chief.
Oh.
Anisha Francisco,
Okay, and a number
Got
where
it.
we can reach you?
318-955-0434. And I also have my number posted on both of the flyers at the bottom. That is my business direct line. So you can contact me there. And also our email address is arise.bethechange@gmail.com.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Delegations? If not, we'll move on. City engineers report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. first project on my list to give you an update on is the water sector project. As I think everyone is aware, that project is complete. We had 2 phases. One was at the sewer ponds, one was throughout the city doing making some sewer repairs. At the end of the projects, we learned that there's another issue at the wastewater treatment plant that we need to address, and that'll be installing a gauge chlorine contact chamber. We've got about $13,000 left over in that project that we intend to address the issue. Next on my list is our 452 drainage improvements project, our utility relocation to be exact. And last time we talked about there was going to be a deductive change order and there was going to be some leftover funds that we wanted to use for another drainage project. We did prepare and execute that change order, and at the end of the day we have about $80,000 remaining from that project. So we've got about $80,000 to address some other issues in town.
So when can we get on Andrew Street?
We did some more surveying to date on the project to figure out how far we have to dig out the outfall canal because it's silted in about 1 or 2 feet. And I would expect by the end of the month to have something that we can send out to contractors to get some quotes. That would be my plan if everyone agrees with that.
Good deal.
Okay, our clearance program, that's where we have some houses that we've condemned and going to demolish them. We've got 16 structures on the list. We have put an ad in the paper and we've sent some solicitation packages out to quite a few contractors. We're expected to receive prices by February 25th. That's the deadline, February 25th at 2 o'clock. A couple of other items that came up at the last meeting for me to look at was some drainage on Laurel Street. I did drive Laurel Street, looked at it. As I mentioned in the last meeting, we had looked at this area in the past, and we had noted that the outfall ditch was silted in, again, a couple feet on this one as well. At the time, Rondell and his crews went in and dug out the outfall. I do believe it improved the area. I think there was some other concerns brought up, but at this point, without any rain, without really doing an in-depth survey, guys, I would say if there's still some drainage issues on that road, we would probably need to look at that outfall ditch again, see if we need to clean it out some more. The issues brought up about the grades in the road and addressing that, all can be done, but we're talking about major money to address that.
So my question on that is, right at Green Street, at the intersection of Green and Laurel, it has a ditch there. The water that's coming off of Green is going completely over the road there. They have nothing that's going underneath the road.
Agreed.
In order for it to get across the road, on the other side, it have to come across the road. So is there a way for us to bore a pipe in there somewhere in that area and have the water drain to that covered on the other side?
We wouldn't be able to bore it, but you could cut the road and put a curb in it.
So that would be a lot cheaper and a lot simpler than having to mess with the grade of different things, correct?
Well, it wouldn't be cheaper and simpler than digging out the outfall ditch. What I can tell you is just looking at the road, it's designed to do what it's doing. Now, it may not be doing it very well. In other words, the road's designed for the water to go across the road and get on the outfall ditch side. There's a catch basin. Some of it goes in there. The rest of it goes down to the crossing and goes into the canal. Yes, can you cut the road, install a pipe, and install a curb inlet on the edge? You can. How much water will it really catch? Unless there's a dip in the road right there, it may not be a whole lot.
And that's where everything comes to. It comes down to the hill at Green and at Green and Laurel. That's where the bottom is at.
Okay, I would suggest let's see how the prices come in on Andrus and Preston, and maybe that's something we can look at. But to do so, again, we want to get an in-depth topo survey to figure out exactly where that low spot is.
We got
sure.
2 tanker trucks that we can go and put the water, turn the water loose at the top of Green Street, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, the other issue that came up, Mr. Brian Bernard presented a letter talking about some erosion issues in his yard. I went out there, I met with Mr. Brian, we looked at it. There's no doubt about it, he's got some significant erosion in the ditch that's next to his house, and it is causing some erosion in his yard. To address the concerns that he has about his yard, there are some temporary fix options. We could go in, we could install some fill, install maybe some riprap, do some things. I didn't get really into a solution to address that, but that's probably your immediate, probably Mr. Bryan's immediate need, but also the immediate action that we could take. To fix the problem in its entirety, we would have to clear that ditch, regrade it, probably increase the size of the culvert crossing Borlon Street extension. Again, with this project, I'm talking about some significant funds to address that. So what I would offer to the council is that if the budget allows, whatever the budget allows, we could go and try to help out, do a little work in the yard. It's not gonna fix the problem, but it would give him his yard back, and we would just have to monitor it, and in the future, maybe come back and address it again.
So that's for us in the parish, correct? For us to work together on that?
Look exactly where the parish line is at, but according to Mr. Bryan, it is at his yard.
Correct.
You agree with that?
It goes back, city limits goes back 250.
Correct, correct. So we can get with the parish and work together and put all the riffraff and things of that nature to help with that, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if the parish is.
What you think?
It's about 270 feet from the road to the back of the property.
So is that something?
Back of the building, the outside kitchen.
So is that something that y'all couldn't help us out with? Ask for getting some riprap back there?
You're gonna need some help.
So, I mean.
Yeah, and guys, look, what I'm talking about is really putting a Band-Aid on his yard to address that ditch and really regrade it. That's something that we'll have to look for some money to do down the road. That's just my opinion based on my knowledge of the town's finances and projects of this nature and size.
What you think? Is something that's better than that? Huh? Yeah, but something that's better than nothing for the time being.
Hey, Marcus, have we entertained the idea of maybe a retaining wall there, or would that exceed the?
No, this thing's 20 foot deep. I mean, it's the solution, just based on spending an hour out there with Mr. Bryan, is probably upsize the culvert that's coming across Borlon Street extension. The culvert's big enough to keep anything from flooding upstream, but what happens is once it hits that culvert, when it comes out of there, it picks up velocity, because you take a ditch this wide and you pass it through a culvert that big, and the velocity's running through. The soils in town wash out once that velocity gets to a certain point, and it's just eroding that bank. Luckily, he's got a lot of vegetation and trees that are slowing it down, but those are starting to cave in, and it's slowly just eroding it away.
So, I mean, would that, for the time being, would that be something that you would want to?
Yeah, you have to stop it some kind of way, until the permanent solution is there.
Okay. So, Mark, can we work together and try to make that happen for him?
I think they already offered.
Okay, well, I mean, there we go. I mean, are we, Mayor?
I have no problem with this, so we can do an intergovernmental agreement on it and get both government bodies to go ahead and get together and share the cost or the equipment and the riffraff.
In the parish.
Yep.
In the parish limits.
It's not in the parish, but they're willing to help us with the work.
In the city limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what
It would be
Mark's
more
saying is
just,
he
the
can work on
equipment, the track hole that
Yeah.
we don't have.
Correct.
That would be the thing that we need.
You don't wanna take some trees out.
No.
No.
No,
You have to take the trees out and make it worse.
Yeah.
Brian's got a few washouts where it's starting to come out in his yard. In my opinion, we try and put some dirt, put some fill, fix that up. And, we might have to come back, the next hurricane passes, we may have to come back and add a little bit more.
Well, I mean, that's
It
a
We have
won't, it
some
won't
riprap
solve
we
the,
can use.
Yeah.
We have
it
some.
won't solve what's causing the problem, but the immediate problem is his yard. So it
Council, do we need to
offers
draw up
relief.
some kind of agreement between us and the police unit
Yes.
to get it going?
Yeah, some type of little simple intergovernmental agreement.
Yeah,
we can put
no,
together.
I just wanna say that the machine's gonna tear that yard up. Just fix it as you go out. Just fix it as you go out.
Yeah. just drag it on the way out.
That's it.
Well, we can come back with some
With,
dirt.
yeah.
We can come back with
That's
some
all I
dirt.
have.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Sheriff.
Thank
Appreciate it. Item 5, approval of an occupation license for Robert Thomas. Mr. Thomas, you can go up there.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Thomas, and I'm trying to start up a barber shop here in the Falls. I owned a barber shop before in Hesma. You might have heard of it, and I want to do the same thing right here in Marksville. I want it to be bigger and a little bit better. So, with your approval, I plan to basically service the community with great pride.
How many chairs do you intend to have?
4.
4? You'll have 4 barbers in there, or 4 available chairs?
Well, I'm starting off by myself until I find.
And then you'll rent some out?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Where is it gonna be located, Mr. Robert?
Right on side of Walmart. With that
Goldenrod.
Goldenrod Road.
By the old Sears building?
Yes, yes, it's old GameStop.
I'll make a motion, we grant the
Second.
square.
Motion by Mr. Mike,
Second by
second by
Danny.
Mr. Carl. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Good luck,
Thank you,
man.
sir.
Thank y'all.
Hey, go see Miss Christie in the morning to get your license, okay?
All right, item 6, approval of occupation license for La Maison Tassin Florals and Bouquet.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Logan Tassin. I'm here on behalf of La Maison Tassin Florals and Boutique LLC. And upon y'all approval, I will be offering fresh and silk flowers as well as home decor, gifts, and apparel for everyone, all ages, from babies all the way up in women's, men's, and plus size.
Logan purchased Janine's flower shop,
Yes.
that building, and.
Yeah, you purchased my aunt's old flower shop, Jermaine's
Germaine's.
Flowers.
Oh, Jermaine's, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll make the motion, man.
Motion by
And I'll
Mrs. Danny,
second.
second by Miss Anita. Any
Good luck.
discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Same thing, see Miss Christie.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Item 7, approval of occupation license for Doodles Snow Shack.
Mr. Mayor, Council, Secretary, Jonathan, appreciate y'all letting us speak. So we're here to propose the opening of Doodle Snow Shack. It'll be at 321 North Main Street, which is the blue gas station across from the new statue right next to La Petite. So basically what we'll do is offer snowballs, of course, Bluebell ice cream, hand scoop. We'll have all your concession stand type foods, chili dogs, nacho cheese, Frito pies, and a few other things, snacks, chips, candy, and things like that. Also, we thought about safety, so we were going to be erecting a fence in front, just a little small 3-foot fence or so, to come out on Main Street, across toward La Petite, and back toward the door. We have outside seating, some inside seating, and possibly in the future, we'll have fence in the back with some plants and things like that for sale. I do have my nursery license, so we may get into that. And that's about it.
Make the
Motion.
motion, man.
I'll second.
I'll make the motion.
I think Mr.
Carl
Carl
made the motion.
Oh, okay.
I second.
Second by Mr. Danny.
Yep.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it. One more caveat. So we're the old managers of the Snow Stop, which was in the parking lot of TJ's. We didn't really operate in that business. That was part of his deal, and we were just managing it. So this is the first time we actually get a new LLC and all on our own. So if y'all want to follow us on Facebook, my wife Heather makes posts periodically. So it's the Doodle Snow Shack now. Previously, the Snow Stop. We've been in operation for 4 years over there. Not operation, but managing it for 4 years there. So this will be our first year to actually own this. So
Congratulations.
any information, you can look there.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
I got a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Good luck.
good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Item 8, approval of occupation license for Tri-L Properties Investments.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Bill Lockman. I recently purchased a lot of land, a piece of land next to the old Guys and Gals, 2 lots down from the entrance off of Preston Street from Red River Bank. Wanting to put a washateria there and a small fireworks stand. Just here to see about approval for an occupational license.
Mayor, on that right there, I have several constituents on my District 4 and District 3 also. They don't want it. The neighbors, I have Mr. Ford and his wife. I have McGlory's here, several of them. So what I'm asking is, until we can get some legal advice, I'd like to table it. I know Mr. Jonathan can't give it to us due to being a relative, so he's abstaining himself, that we go outside and get legal advice. Ms. Mallon, Mr. Percy, Mr. Ford, would you like to speak toward that, please? Stand and speak. Let us know who you are. Say what you have to say.
My name is Percy Gloria, and I live 2 houses down from the intendant, washateria, forward stand. We've done a lot of work around our property to update it, renovate it, and I have 2 questions. One, my understanding is that the same proposal to put up a washateria was done further up the road, North Preston Street, in the community, and that opportunity was turned down because of the constituents in that area. And so I'm wondering, why do we think our location further up South Preston Street would be a good candidate for
That was turned down because I purchased that little apartment deal, and that was zoned residential. I came to the zoning meeting right after I got it and did my homework to try to zone it commercial. Did not pass. Came to the city council meeting trying to do the same thing, did not pass. Totally understandable.
Right,
This
but you had constituents in that area.
This property is
that didn't want-
100% commercial property, has been commercial property.
It's not the business, it's the type of business, okay? They're speaking, go ahead and speak, Ms. Ford, please.
It's not zoned strictly commercial. I'm next to it. It's residential.
Commercial.
And I do not care to have it next to my property. To have people loitering at night, the people that, the homeless go in these places, they sleeping in them at night. No, I'm not for it at all.
I mean, you got one right a mile down the road, the man just renovated, so why would you want to put it in that district anyway?
I'm a businessman, I don't care if it's across the street. It's there.
Hold on.
Guess what? We live there, your house. We live in there. You're a business person, we've been there for years, and we don't want it there. And if we have to go in the community and get every city to the side, we gonna do it. We don't want it there.
All it's done is going, the value of your home is going to
Exactly.
That's number one.
We got enough of homeless people walking the streets of Preston.
My question, did you do a survey to see how will that affect our property value? I just dropped it. You
You didn't think about
Okay,
that.
all right, we need to,
Mayor,
yes.
we calm it down. I make the motion.
All right.
I make the motion that we don't grant the occupation.
Let me ask this question. When you made that decision to do that, did you look into what permits you would need? And are you planning to build a laundromat?
It's gonna be brand new construction, yes,
A
ma'am.
brand new construction? Do you know what it's gonna take? Water, sewer,
Yeah, that's,
electricity and everything else to go with that? Even what it's gonna take for contamination? Because you are in a residential area, okay? It is, you may zone it for commercial, but you are in a residential area. And the Airbnb is commercial, but it can be used for residential. So all of that, and we do have congestion, we do have water problems, we have sewer. And if I need to go further, which I won't, I can let you know about, because that property, I owned it prior, okay? So maybe you need to look into what you're trying to get and how it's gonna affect us, your residents. We keep our property and everything clean and up to what we need.
Okay.
Ms. Mallon, I'll be making the motion that we deny the occupational license for a laundromat to try L Properties Investments.
And I'll second.
Thank y'all.
Okay, we have a unique situation. I mean, council is deemed a commercial property, but there's some complaints from the citizens that are concerned about it, and I can understand. And we have a unique situation that council is the brother-in-law. So for us to get legal advice of whether we have to do it or not, I mean, we'd have to get counsel from somewhere else.
No, he made the motion not to do it, and I second it. Let's just
Okay,
move
got a
forward.
motion and a second.
Yeah, not to give it to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Roll on.
move forward.
All right. All
Thank
in
y'all for
favor?
showing up.
All
John,
in- ma'am?
I will have to abstain because he's a very personal friend of his family. So I abstain.
All in favor of Mr. Danny's motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
Okay. We might, like I said, for now, it's down. I don't know if he's gonna file suit against the town or whatever, but just take it upon him at that time.
File suit for what?
Well, it's commercial, he says it's commercial property, and, you know, like I said, as of now.
Jonathan,
I
you
mean,
can't
it's
speak,
shut
so I'm
down.
gonna ask the mayor.
don't know if we have just cause.
Hold on, let me ask him. So on what grounds can he sue the city for us saying that we're not going to allow something in the city?
Well,
I don't
council
know if
might
we
be
have
able to
just
answer
cause
that.
to turn it down.
So why is he coming before us?
If
then?
that's the, exactly.
Well, like I said,
Because
I'm
you
not
have to
saying he
approve
will
it.
or he won't, but there's a
But you have
possibility
to have
that he
just
will.
cause to.
Okay, so Jonathan, you can't give
But
me
in the
input.
meantime, it's
Just
not allowed.
constituents.
Ma'am?
Once it's zoned, the council has the last say-so as to whether or not it's approved.
But
But
just
it's not
cause
approved.
is my constituents here saying they don't want it.
We don't want it.
Jonathan,
So
you,
they all stood up.
you can't, so I understand that you can't give, legal advice on what to do, but as the process of this, is there grounds for the city to be sued for turning down a business?
Well, it's impossible for me to answer that question without getting into the specifics of this case. What I would suggest is, if y'all want a legal opinion, we can vote to ask maybe Mike Kelly, who was the city attorney for years, his opinion on the situation, and table the issue for now if your concern is legal ramifications. He can answer that.
But I mean, the citizens are here and they, you know, like I said, there was a motion done and passed.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
not to go ahead and allow it, so it's mute. I mean,
Well-
it's out for now.
So why would, John, Mayor, why would you make that comment
No, I'm making the comment.
about
that-
being sued?
Well, I mean, he's bought the property. I mean, you cannot prevent anybody from suing you, you know what I'm saying? So
Correct.
That's the reason I said it. Not that it's gonna go anywhere, but, you know,
But there's a reason for it being said, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. What was your reason on saying it? Because I'm
I don't
lost.
know what you're getting at, Mr. Fields.
Well, I'm
All
lost.
I'm saying is that anybody can sue you. This gentleman's thinking that he was gonna build a washateria there, and the council voted it down. So it's moot point. So we need to move to the next,
You're right.
next item on the
You're
agenda.
absolutely right.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Full of it.
9, discuss zoning at 530 Laurel to a mobile home site.
Okay, the permit was good for 2 years.
Well, hold on.
Yes, ma'am. Just go to the
Yes, ma'am.
podium.
Right.
The zoning meeting was held last night, and the permit was granted for 2 years, and they must renew it after 2 years. The burnt house on the property must make an attempt to repair or remove the structure. He will not be allowed to live in the house and have the mobile home remain on the premises. It will be considered a multi-family at that point.
I have a question. It's 2 separate lots. When we bought it, got 2 different sizes. The mobile home is on the vacant. The home is on the other side, the other lot. So why can't it be split into two different addresses.
But that's not how you presented it last
No,
night.
I wasn't at the meeting.
That's not how
I'm
it
just
was
asking a question.
That's not how it was presented last night.
I understand that part, I'm just asking, well, would that be an option if we wanted to put that?
So what, I mean, where is this
The whole
at?
idea, it was about having the home that we were in.
Where exactly? I have the paperwork. So which side of the street on, is it Long Laurel or Short Laurel?
Is that the house that burned?
So it's on,
Yeah.
which one?
Okay, that's the one that burned.
Ms. Dunmiles,
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 houses.
I would suggest that you return to the zoning committee and present them your case as you're presenting it to us tonight,
Correct.
okay? No, because they're the ones that are gonna determine whether or not it can be rezoned as you want it to be, okay?
Yeah.
Once they determine, yes, it can be split into 2 lots and given 2 addresses, then you can come back to us. I think right now, it's premature because a case was presented last night in one direction, and it's almost taken a turn in where you want to go now. So I don't believe that you're gonna be able to achieve the results that you're looking for until you go back to the zoning committee.
That's right.
All right,
So, yeah, let's go back that way and we'll go from there.
all right, so as of now, like, if whatever my husband came up, he came yesterday, I don't know what, he just said that it was approved by the jury, and he had to renew every 2 years. So he was, my question, that was just my question, he agreed that he had to tear it down, But he was just concerned about doing it every 2 years, you know, like coming back to have the thing rezoned every 2 years.
But that was their determination.
Yeah, that's,
That's their determination. So if y'all, if you all keep it the way it is now, you'll be on the hook every 2 years for a research.
So is it to be rezoned every 2 years,
No,
or is it to
it's
be
for them to get like an extension.
updated?
Extension, yeah.
Zoning
I
committee
think, I think it was presented as they would live in the trailer while they worked on the house. Isn't that the way it was presented?
Oh, I don't know, see, that's what I was saying, because it didn't, I read the bylaw.
Well, that's where the
And
mix
that's
up.
what I was.
Yeah, that's where
That's
the
where
mix
the
is.
mix up.
Oh, whatever.
So how about we go ahead and table this for now, and you come back on the next meeting, and we go from there, because right now, everything that, just like he told you, everything that's on play right now, it's not the same as what y'all thought it was.
I think that was a misunderstanding.
Who
with
went to the
zoning
meeting,
committee.
who went,
Yeah.
how did you present it to the zoning committee?
I'm trying to get it zoned for a trailer to be on the other side section of a property. But I told them that my house was burnt on the other side. It's all one property.
What do you plan on doing with the house?
I'm trying to fix it up, keep it in the family.
So in other words, you want to stay in the trailer until the house is,
No, the trailer would be our permanent residence, but I
but
have
that, I
my
think
kids,
that's
we
the
wanted
way
that.
I think that's the way they took it,
They
where,
must have-
okay,
they
yeah.
must
Okay.
have
that's why they put the
misunderstood.
2-year stipulation.
Yes.
You know, it's to give you 2 years to fix the house. I think that's why
So, yeah,
they
let's
came
go
out with
ahead and
that.
stand off
Right.
on us voting on this, and you go back in front of the zoning committee. Yeah, let's do that instead, because again, right now, the way it's standing, it's not what y'all want,
All right,
okay?
all right,
We
Make sure
appreciate
you're
it.
there and explain.
okay,
Yeah.
I will. All right,
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
all right.
Sir.
Putting the trailer wouldn't not be a problem. That wouldn't be the problem.
Uh-huh,
They already approved that.
right,
But it's the 2-year
But it's that
stipulation that's
2-year
gonna hurt you.
stipulation.
okay,
Yeah, that's gonna hurt you later on down the road.
all right.
Hey, I'm Colton Bradley. I'm the general manager of the place they bought the trailer from, so I just came to help them out. So I think the main question we have now is, can we put the house up? So I know that there is rules on the 2 years, they don't fix the house up or whatnot, the city can put a lien on it, and they gotta move either the trailer or destroy the house. So my reason for being here is, as a business guy, is I just wanna know, can we put the house up?
They can put it, but it's gonna be hinged on the stipulations that the zoning committee has for them.
In 2 years.
Yes.
Right.
So like, I
Unless
can
they
put the
can
house
break
out
it,
there at the end of this week.
unless they can break it into 2 lots, and
Like
then
what you're trying to do.
and then present that to the zoning committee to just have 2 lots, one with a trailer, one with a house.
Okay, so there is no problem with putting the house there then.
So that's, I mean, if that's what they
But
wanna
they
do,
still
but
have
you're
that
gonna.
2-year
They
stipulation.
got 2 years
Yeah,
to
still
either
got
fix
the
the
2
house or remove the house, or get it in
Right.
separate lots.
Right. Can y'all do it within 2 years? either fix the house or tear it down. Can y'all do that within 2 years?
So y'all want to
Well,
move
then there
with it
shouldn't be a
tonight and then, okay, well.
There shouldn't be a problem if you
Yeah,
can
it
do it
shouldn't be
in
any
2
problem
years.
if you can do it within that
So,
timeframe.
That's the
and the
stipulation.
policy state because it's their primary, they can have the trailer, correct? The city policy.
Well, whatever the
According-
zoning committee says.
Yes. Okay, well then I mean, I'll make the motion.
Well, it's up to us to agree whether we let him put a trailer or not.
Yeah, it's in your name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You just, and the trailer's gonna be there temporarily, right?
no, it's a permanent,
Okay, so it's
permanent
permanent,
resident.
all right.
permanent
But they
residence.
want to live in the trailer and they want to have somebody live in the house.
Right,
So that's why she wanna split the address.
correct. Split the addresses.
But he
So
said they can,
we can still approve it, right, Jonathan, and then they can go back in front of the zoning committee and then, and separate it still?
Right, yeah.
Okay, well then,
Just gotta just go through the process.
okay, well then I'll make the motion to go ahead and accept it.
Motion by Tori,
I second it.
second by Mr. Denny.
Yeah, I second.
Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
that way.
Item 10, discussing the purchases of police units.
So y'all good to roll?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
How's it going, Mayor and Council?
Hold on, hey, hold on, Chris. What you got, man?
216.
What is it again?
Trying to pull a trailer. I brought a brand new trailer. I'm trying to pull it on my property. So I'm going to come to the council and get
Where is that?
a building license.
At the top of Bruyette, on your mama property? It had a trailer there at one point in time. So, on the side, didn't it have one on y'all side a lot?
Building. You got the original.
So,
And they tore it down. So since it was tore down, I had it appraised and everything, and got a mobile home.
correct.
Approved for the mobile home, but they told my son he had to come up here to get, the.
And where do you wanna move it now?
216
Where at, Bruyette Street?
And it's y'all's property?
It's our property.
Yeah.
And it has to be the primary home. I believe the bylaw states it
Yeah,
have
you
to be a
can't rent
primary
it.
home.
You can't
So-
rent it.
You can't rent it, you can't rent it,
Correct,
you have to live in
correct.
it. You gotta live in it. You have to live in it, you can't rent it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You got a brother?
He didn't come. No, he was the one who was here. He was here.
Didn't we approve that for you already?
No, we approved to tear it down.
No, but, right, but didn't you ask to put some type of house or?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Move. Oh,
And get the
okay,
paperwork. So I'll make the motion to go ahead and,
Motion by
yeah, I'll make the
Tori,
motion.
I'll second.
second by Mike.
You good?
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying
Just,
aye.
do it got to be in your name and.
Yeah, your mom and her name is in her. The property's in her name. And everything. So.
Okay, item 10.
No, just, cause when you do the utilities and everything.
Item 10, discussion of the purchase of police units. Mr. Mike?
You good, right? Yeah, everything good.
Okay, I'm at Jonathan, he has the numbers and specifications.
Who, Jonathan? That's Jonathan right there, man.
I don't have any specifications.
I mean Jason, I'm sorry.
I'm like, hold on.
I got worried for a
Yeah,
second.
you went 3 different people tonight, huh?
You gonna answer? All right, Mayor and Council, I'm coming to y'all to see about getting 5 brand new police units.
Wait.
Hold up.
Jason, hold on.
Go ahead.
All right. Mayor and Council, I'm coming to y'all to see about getting 5 new units for the department, fully equipped. The total cost of the units would be right at $300 for 5 units. That's fully equipped with brand new equipment, radios, radars, lights and all that, which whenever we bought the Tahoes were around $350 for 5 of them. And we got the quote down for Tahoes this go around, it would be close to $400. So we're gonna go with the Fords if it's approved and then try and get them fully equipped. Like I said, with new stuff, all the stuff we have now is starting to get old. They've been here since I've been here, which would be saving about $100,000.
You getting them on state contract?
State contract,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
And these units will be about $100,000 cheaper than what we bought
Yeah.
6 years ago.
6 years ago, yeah.
And these have all the equipment in them.
Don't we have 3 units in the shop?
Okay. My next question was, if y'all do approve this, I was gonna see if the mayor and council wanna approve. So the Tahoes, we've been having some problems with. Dealt with the engines. We've been talking to the GM manager at GM. They trying to check out to see if there's gonna be a recall on the motor. We already replaced one motor in one. They about to replace another motor in them. With that being said, if y'all approve this, I've been trying to ask for this and see if we can go forward with it. Start issuing everybody their own unit. That way it would be less wear and tear on the vehicles, less oil changes. We would know who's tearing them up. They wouldn't be running 24 hours a day.
I agree with that.
Every person, right now we would only have 5 people driving a unit. The rest would have to split it. If we could keep these units in good shape, then we'll just keep trickling them down. And I think in the long run, it would save the city money in the long run as far as utilizing vehicles. So this price that I have on the new ones is everything new, radios, which we never get, and radars that we never get. But the price is still almost $100,000 cheaper than what the town would be. And we would start giving, I would start with the supervisors, start giving them their own take-home unit. It would be an incentive for the city. You can only use it for work. Nothing, you can't go to the grocery store on Sunday afternoon and, court, work purposes, that's all you can use it for. And as we get new ones, we'll start trickling them down like that. If y'all in agreement.
Hey, I'm in agreement with that all day long. But my
I'll make a
question
motion, we go ahead and.
Is it, my only question is are we budgeted for it? That's it.
The Tahoes are paid for.
Yeah, so do we have it in the budget to pay for it?
No, it's not in the budget, but they do have money in public safety fund, the public safety account.
So in the
The
public
units
safety.
that we have now are paid for.
Correct.
They're already paid for.
So are we going to have to take a chunk out of the general fund, or do we need
No,
to?
it wouldn't be out of the general fund, it would be out of the public safety account.
Public safety.
You'd have notes like you have it on your
Yeah, you would
Tahoes
have
right now,
notes.
you'd have the same notes on your report.
The notes are every quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every quarter?
Every quarter the notes are, and we're $100,000 cheaper, so.
So Christie, what would we end up with? 5 units?
Brand new.
Yeah.
5 brand new.
5 units?
Right.
What is the requirement financially? What are we required to put down on these 5 units?
The first payment. Oh, yeah, the first payment, I'm sorry. First quarter payment.
You pay that, we get the units, then you pay.
The old units are paid off.
So, yeah.
So I think we was paying around 30 on a quarter on the Tahoes. So
Okay.
somewhere right there, I mean,
Not bad.
these are a little cheaper.
You'd be
Jason,
rolling over and doing the same thing that you're doing on the Tahoes
Yes,
right
sir.
now.
So I'm gonna ask this question, you was paying for the Tahoes. How about we keep the same payment that we was paying those Tahoes, that way we could get rid?
Different finance company.
I understand that, I'm talking about the amount that we're paying.
It
Keep
might
the
be
same
cheaper.
am-
It might
keep
be
the-
cheaper.
Yeah.
Keep the same amount that we paying, that way we could get to pay them off just as fast as we pay the other ones.
I'm fine with how
Because,
you
I mean,
work it.
it's, if it's there, let's go ahead and get it over with.
get it paid in full.
So those new units would look just like the one that the 2 of you drive?
Yes, sir. But would have a
Some
light
markings.
bar and.
Yeah, they would be marked.
Markings. And they would have a light bar where ours don't.
They're gonna be white?
Yes.
So, Ms. Christie, you understood what I was saying? As for, I mean, if we're gonna get them,
No, would you pay, you saying pay a little more than what they
correct,
requested?
keep paying exactly what we were
pay
paying
more
for the
quicker.
Tahoes, that way we could get it over with.
Then we're paying
You'll
that
pay 'em
amount
off
to do.
quicker.
Yeah, you
I
raise.
second that motion, man. I second that motion.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Jason,
Item 11,
What happens to the,
financial statements and bills of January.
We're gonna keep them.
Ms. Anita, the bills for January?
Expense report for January 2026. City Hall, $15,583.88. Police, $31,580.41. Fire, $46,338.14. Street, $37,771.44. Beautification, $2,350.81. Total general fund, $133,624.68. Sewer, $104,355.29. AWC, $76,161. Water, $38,789.24. Total, $219,305.53. Grand total, $352,930.21. I make a motion that those bills be approved for payment and paid.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Nita, second by Mike. Any questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
We'll have department reports. Chris C. Grimio, Secretary Treasurer.
Sales tax collected for the month of January 2026 was $331,878.97. Of 1% sales tax was $165,939.49. 1/2 sales tax was $82,969.74. Public safety was $82,969.74. We had an increase of 0.667% from December of 2025, which was $329,680.31 collected, and we also had a decrease of 1.81 from January of 2025. And of that was $337,412.37 collected.
Thank you, Ms. Christie.
Thank you, Ms. Christie. Police Chief, Ms. Destin.
Okay, for the month of January, the police department handled 298 complaints with 13 accidents with 2 injuries. Issued 20 citations, made 22 arrests. Turned 2 cases over to the DA's office, and we had 2 drug arrests. The city collected $640 from the city court. Police jury collected $2,495. And the police phones, $700.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief.
Mr. Chris, Fire.
Fire report for the month of January. We ran 32 calls, 15 in the city limits, 14 outside the city, with 3 mutual aid calls. Consisted of 6 brush fires, 3 structure fires, 6 fire alarm activations, 3 medical emergencies, 1 smoke scare, 1 landing zone, 1 assist to the Marksville PD, 1 vehicle fire, 2 vehicle accidents, 1 technical rescue, 4 hazardous conditions, 2 kitchen fires, and 1 utility pole fire.
Chris, I'd just like to thank you and the force. One of those calls that you all got was from one of my staff members at their residence, and they were very thankful for everything that y'all did for them. Thank y'all very much.
Thank y'all.
Chris,
You good?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to thank you and the department and all of the employees who helped with the benefit dinner for Jerry Borland and his family, as well as the community, because everyone reached out and contributed, and it was an absolute success.
Also, Chris, I'd like to thank your guys, and Chief, your guys too, for the action they took on Monday with the situation on Preston. Also, by saying that, council, and if I'm not mistaken, Carl, you had spoke to Pafford, right, about coming to, we need to get another ambulance service.
Right.
Because if this person was revived, it took Acadian 30 minutes to get there. I'm standing there, 30 minutes. And the officers, the firemen, they were calling on the radio, where's the ambulance? So my point to that is, they did everything they could. They worked an hour on that person. I'm standing there watching from beginning to the end. If they would have brought that person back around, how are they gonna get them to the hospital? 30 minutes. So I would like for us to get another ambulance service. I'm not concerned with the jury. They do what they want. They can be dispatched from our dispatch.
I agree with you, Mr. Danny, and I was on scene, I went on scene, and I'd like to thank y'all for trying to revive the person that passed away. But in the past, when we've had discussions on multi-ambulances, that's why we wanted to go ahead and have more than one ambulance in town to possibly go ahead and save a person's life. Case in point, Councilman Havoc was a council member, and when he had he almost passed away. If it wouldn't have been for just one ambulance service, he wouldn't be here today. Luckily, there was another ambulance service in town. But from what I understand, is that Acadiana bought out the other ambulance service?
No, not that particular
I
one.
don't know if they bought another one out. There used to be one that was housed by the elementary school, which no longer exists.
Right.
So how, Mr. Danny, how do we go ahead as a council to try to entertain someone to come back and provide us ambulance services in town?
The reason why I brought it up, Mr. Chapman has the information, we can get them to the next meeting, and we maybe can.
Okay, then,
correct this, Jonathan, can we vote?
I wish you would have been here today, to be able to
You mind
provide
doing
us
that?
that information.
Well,
I
the
wish we
thing
could
of it
get
is,
four
it-
ambulance services
well, yeah,
here.
but it goes back to the police jury. I mean, y'all voted for another 5 years for Acadian, correct? I mean, whenever y'all doing that, do y'all take in consideration with the other the cities, municipalities?
In the parish, the sheriff's department,
So, I mean, so nobody else have,
doesn't have anything to do with the city.
But Mark,
Okay.
does anybody, with y'all being the control of the parish, does anybody else have the leisure to come back and do an ambulance service in Marksville without y'all restricting it?
The police jury ceded that authority, to the sheriff years ago.
Okay.
Well, that's why I said we have them call, report from our dispatch. We
In
have
other
a
words, y'all
dispatcher
wouldn't be
that works.
against another ambulance service coming in.
I mean, we can,
Yeah.
Chief, we can accommodate that. I mean, answer the
Yeah,
phone.
they had,
well,
yeah,
if they,
I don't know what happened.
well, because if they call 911, dispatch is not going to dispatch
Yeah.
them. They would have to, I don't know how we would be able to get
But
them.
I think they turn that over to the sheriff's office.
Correct.
Am I right, legal counsel?
That's correct. And if that's what y'all want to do, like you suggested, I think the thing to do is reach out to these other ambulance services and invite them
To
to a
the
meeting to make a proposal.
Okay.
Chris?
We had two ambulance services in the past.
Go ahead.
Hayden and Med Express.
And
St.
Slims.
And St. Landry.
And Slims.
Well, Slims didn't do emergencies, only transfers from
Well, they
nursing
did.
homes.
They did emergencies.
Maybe towards the end, but
Yeah.
when they started, they would for transfers.
Well, but I think that's who Acadian bought out. Acadian bought out Slims. I do believe that.
But we had Med Express, which was
That
across
is-
from the
that is
elementary
Correct,
school.
correct.
And Marksville PD dispatcher would call Med Express, and the parish has nothing to do with it if it's
Correct.
inside the city limits.
Right, that's what we want.
Go ahead, Chief.
What they'd have to do with the other ambulance service, they wouldn't have to advertise. Anyone inside the city limits would have to call Marksville PD.
Instead of calling 911.
We can
Correct.
dispatch it. Instead of calling 911, because they're gonna dispatch Acadian ambulance first.
Correct.
That's fine. I don't think another business will have a problem with that. My main concern is the constituents in the city that take sick, and we got to get to them emergency, and that was a prime example. If they'd have brought that person back, how are they going to get them to the hospital? They standing there, steady working, waiting on the ambulance, and then pull up, and the dude pull up like, we here. I'm like, really, dude?
I agree with, whatever we need to do to go ahead and get some other ambulance services back into Marksville, we need to do so.
Okay.
Chris,
Thank
can
you, Chris.
look into that, please.
All right.
Floyd, Street Department?
For the month of January, we've been picking up a lot of leaves and branches. We started weeding today, or this week, around the city vehicles, city complexes. Cleaned a lot of covers over this past weekend. And we had to take out some trees in the bayous that had fallen. We had to get them out before the rain. My animal count is 9. We stay at 9. As soon as we get them out, another road coming in. That's all I have.
Thank you, Claude.
Miss Christie, with the street department account, I'm looking at what's remaining in the budget. Is there any way that we can use some of this money here and start trying to do something with some of the roads, at least, do something with some of them as far as, maybe like, Bruyette Street needs to be widened out, maybe, take some of the money from there and widen it out and do things of that nature.
You have to get with the engineer and see
Well,
how
I mean,
much-
I'm getting with him, but the money have to come through her. I mean, they have a good bit of money still left in their budget here.
But the engineer would have to go ahead and see how much it costs first to give her an idea of the cost, and then she can tell you if we have the money.
Right.
Could you provide some of that?
Even with you spending the money that you're spending, we still have a lot of money left. Look,
You'd have
look
to buy
here.
property
Look,
to widen the street.
look right here what you still have left.
Mr. Torres, you'd have to make a request of what street you want to look at.
Yeah,
And give it to the engineer.
yeah. So
and then
the,
the engineer give a cost and then give it to her and see if it's feasible.
And it's the same streets that we talked about before. Bruyette Street at the end, close to Tri-9, I believe that's the area there, that need to be widened out. And then at the intersection of Laurel and Roy. If we can use some of this money and do even some small overlay there, we can use some of this money instead of having to wait on some of the grants if we're able to. I mean, we have money in the street department, that's what it's for.
But let me ask you this, don't you have some other streets that you have committed to going ahead and relaying?
There are a couple of streets that y'all received money through the LCDBG program to rehab.
But that wouldn't affect the amount of, that's already funded for that specific
Unless these are
street.
the same streets. It's,
Sir?
Unless these are the same streets we're talking about, which I don't think it is.
No.
It's a totally different.
Correct.
area.
And I mean, I'm sure we could identify a street or two in every district that could use some attention.
I mean, and if we have, if we have the money to use, I mean, I'm looking at what we pay out each month coming out of the street department, well, then we should be able to do a little something out of the street department funds. I mean, let's do something with the streets. So, I mean, we can come back and look at it next month and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, let's go ahead and give us a cost estimate and then give it to Chrissy. Mr. Shaw?
In the month of January, we picked up 80 bags of litter on all state roads. District 1, 19. District 2, 35. District 3, 62. District 4, 40. District 5, 83. For a total of 319. And we've been helping the street department with the limbs and the leaves. And my crew started to weed it a little bit today, so probably next week we're gonna start hitting it hard.
The grass will start.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. Mr. Rondell?
All right, safety this month, we had a safety training yesterday for all the employees. The only ones we didn't do was the secretaries. At the end of the month, I'm gonna have one for the secretaries. That's gonna include the police, city hall, and the ladies at the water department. And I chose the end of the month because the first part of the month, that's when they're real busy. But, and the ones that didn't attend, I'm gonna have a sheet. They have to attend, and it's mandatory. All right, second thing for sewer. Mayor and council, I'm gonna ask for some money. I mean, if y'all do it, y'all do it. If y'all don't, y'all don't. But here's the thing. If y'all don't, DEQ will come and find us, then we're gonna still have to do it. I need an aerator at the ponds. It's around 30,000. And the pH is going up, they're gonna start writing us up. And with the new permit that came in, we get a new permit every 5 years on my license, the state permit. They want us to run another composite sample at the main station. We run 2 samples a week. And they want us to run each composite sample for here and at the pond at the same time. So that cost for that is $7,800. So
And
we're
it's-
looking at about $38,000.
It's mandatory that we do it.
It's mandatory.
So, Chrissy, do we have that in maintenance for the sewer department?
Yes, we do have the money for it.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Carl, second by Mr. Dorr.
Okay, so with the sewer department, every month whenever we get paid, that goes right back into it, correct? Into
Yeah,
the sewer department,
they
so
go-
it's
they go right
it's just,
back into it.
just renewing itself, so we shouldn't run out of money there.
No.
Okay, well, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Any
All right.
motion second, any question? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right,
All right,
go ahead,
that's
Rodney.
all I have for sewer and safety.
Hey,
Miss-
before you
Miss
go-
Beverly is not here.
Yeah, go ahead, that's what I want to talk about.
Miss Beverly is not here. She didn't have anything this month, but she's running into a problem, what we did a few months ago, and Mr. Buckles is not here. So I'm gonna be asking for some more money. It's 19,000. We need to get at least 50 more meters. And what it's causing us to be delayed in doing the billing. And some people may use every month, $34 their bill is. Right now, they may get a $400 bill. We had 22 pages of rereads. Usually it take us a couple hours to reread. Now it's taking us a week. We just cut the deadline to send the bills out so they'll be on time. It's holding us up.
Are you getting with those people, that we had discussed those meters at the LMA
Yes,
conference?
the LMA, they were the cheapest, and Mr. Frills reached out to me yesterday to ask me, and that's the same company he
All
had.
right.
They're the cheapest, and 50 meters somewhere around 19,000. We just bought 50. Before that, we bought 100. The guys installed them after working on the weekends, and now we're running into the same problem.
Rondell, what's the criteria for putting in a new meter at a residence?
At a resident, when we go, if it's a bad meter, I have a crew go out, they take the number that's on there, they go back, they take the meter number, install it with the address, then they have to bring it over here to the water department. They have to put it in the computer.
How do we determine it's a bad meter?
Because if you go 1 month and you've been 5 years, your bill has been $30. Then 2 months, back to back, your bill is $800, and you don't have a leak and we run a profile, then it's the meter.
I was sure hoping my meter was bad, because for the last 5 years, my water bill's been $100 every month.
Yes, and what we've been doing, you can change just the battery or just the meter, but like
I'll
the
buy the
salesman
batteries
told
if y'all
us,
wanna change them.
he said, if the battery's going bad, then the bottom is going bad. So you may as well change everything at one time.
Christie, do we have the money in the budget for these water meters?
Yes, we do have the
Motion.
money.
Second.
All right, last thing, I want to talk to supervisors and let the mayor and council know, if it's an accident, please contact me as soon as possible. It's a wreck. Please contact me. Don't wait 2 weeks. Don't wait 3 weeks. Contact me right away. Please.
Right.
Because what we're paying now, it's not a small deductible. It's not a small deductible. And right now, we're having to pay $275,000 the first, before the insurance kick in and pay 1 penny.
So do we not have a policy on vehicle accidents?
Yes, we do.
Is everybody given that policy when they're, when they get
Everybody.
employment?
Everybody, when they get hired, they have a policy and procedure manual that they have to sign for.
So I wanted to go back to supervisors. Over the water department, I need you to double check and see why, and maybe I was wrong, but she was missed on the rest of the pay rates whenever we did all the supervisors. She is not with the rest of them.
She is not with the rest of
No,
them?
she's not. I mean, her stuff is a bit different as a supervisor from everybody, all the rest of the supervisors. Can you check into that for me?
I'll check into it, but I think I know the reason. I'll talk to Chaplain. She didn't know.
Okay, all right.
And that's all I have. Do you have anything for me?
Yeah, we need
You
to
had-
vote on that.
You reported Beverly's?
Yeah, she didn't have anything. It was
Okay.
just, we didn't do any cutoff because of the ice.
Okay.
And we didn't turn off, the reason we didn't turn off, we didn't want to turn off and people piped in the street.
And I'd like to thank you and Buckles and the crew for doing it in a timely manner, those hydrants that were replaced.
And they also fixed another one.
Yeah.
while they were down here. We didn't have to keep the water up any longer.
Yep.
But as y'all all know, the ball advisory was lifted today.
Good deal.
Thank you, Rondell.
All right.
We need to vote on the meters, Mayor.
Yeah, we need to had a motion and a second on purchasing of the meters.
There he is.
Any other questions on those? I call for a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. All right, Mr. Jonathan?
The only thing I have is we have an executive session.
Need a motion to go to executive session?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?